Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another solitary Sunday. These lights are extra bright today because I wanted to make sure this week after Flamecraft, I felt like we were playing in the dark. And this is Three Sisters that we're doing today. Three Sisters of the Corn. And I got out this very festive but very cheap feeling tablecloth. It's like crepe paper practically. But pumpkins because we have pumpkins in this game. And I'm going to be taking out Outlander Edith. She better get out of my cornfield. That's all I have to say. So this is one actually I've been wanting to do on Solitary Sunday for a while. This is probably one of my favorite roll and writes. So if it's also one of your favorites, feel free to get in the chat. And let me know why it's your favorite. And also, I almost figured out how to work OBS. So that's definitely going to be a thing. So I'll keep an eye on the chat. I'm just going to look at OBS because whenever I'm looking into YouTube, it's like a lag of, I don't know, it must be minutes at this point. So I have my trusty pen. Ooh, trusty pen. Let me know if the audio is good or not. I actually have a microphone plugged in today. We've been having microphone issues, so I had to pull out the old Zoom recorder, which frankly is a better... well, I'm not going to get into all that actually right now. So, just let me know if the audio is a little hot. I can turn the gain down or up, as the case may be. I just noticed a little quiet from the webcam mic, which is what I was doing, because my Blue Yeti like fell and got dented, which led to all kinds of discoveries about it not actually connecting. I thought I was using the Blue Yeti mic on all our videos for the last year, and apparently I was not. Apparently the settings were wrong or something. So that's fun. But yeah, if anyone shows up, you get in the chat. You let me know that you're here. Feel free to ask any questions and engage with me, all in good fun. So I am going to try to do a better job of actually like doing a quick teach of the game, just if you've never played this game before. So this is designed by Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle of 25th Century Games. Okay, 25th Century Games. There's the rulebook, which we're probably still going to have to consult here and there for the solo mode. So this is a roll and write in which we are gardening, and we're using this new technique we've learned. I love the flavor text in here. It's like, the garden plot in your backyard is tilled and ready. I know something else that's also tilled and ready to be tilled. The days are getting longer and the weather warmer. Oh, I guess it's less of an autumn theme and more of a spring and summer theme because we're planting them, but it's still autumn theme. There's pumpkins, so your kids have come home from camp eager to teach you a gardening method called companion planting. And then it talks about its use by the indigenous peoples of the area. They did actually get indigenous cultural consultants on this. I mean, this is probably the least offensive way you could use an indigenous theme, to be honest. So, but I'm glad that they at least went to Mr. Ray St. Clair of the Eagle Chippewa clan and Miss Beatrice Manasseh Quay Jackson of the Symphian, I think, would that be that tribe? Midwewin Lodge. Midwewin. Sorry. I'm doing my best there. So, in the solo mode of this game, it's a quite combo-tastic roll and write. This is sort of like a lighter Hadrian's Wall, in my opinion, which is my favorite roll and write of all time. Or that's more of a flip and write. This is a true roll and write because We have dice that are escaping, and dice with little pumpkins on them. Isn't that lovely? And it features a rondelle action selection system. I love anything dice placement and a rondelle, and you got me. It's very clever way of doing the actions, and the way that I like, really especially like the way it works in the solo mode, because that will be helping us sort of automate the AI's turns. So, as you may recall from my Leaf stream, I usually don't like managing AI. This is one of those more middle ground kinds of cases. The management is not bad. I don't mind it, actually. And actually, I think it makes the solo game even more tactical. The multiplayer game is very multiplayer solitaire, obviously, like a lot of roll and writes are. There's a little bit of interaction on the rondelle, but it's way more interaction when you do it with the AI, for sure, because you know where they're going to go. So I'll probably go over the areas as we do them, and as we learn how to do the AI, it will kind of help us kind of teach the game, actually. It's very similar to the multiplayer, except the AI is going to be crossing things off. So this is the game, my little review game I did this morning. I got 67 points. See, I'll go to the Zoom now, actually, because now that I have these fancy I just realized something. I don't know if you guys can hear me when I do the zoom out. I probably have to put a mic on that one. So, boo. I was just saying that I got 67 points in my last game, and I did pretty well in my garden. I got 43, which is pretty good scoring in your garden. But I didn't really get much on this perennials track. What else didn't I do well on? The apiary, I did okay. I got up on the honey track. So if you get out of this first track here and it kind of bisects there, that's pretty good. I guess I got some fruit scoring. It could have been better. I got some shed scoring. I actually got 5 things completed in the shed, which is actually pretty good. That's more about engine building and less about points in either case. So let's go to the Zoom real quick, and I'm going to add a microphone to it so you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. So, 67 here. Let's do better in the perennial track. I would have liked last time also to bump. I was kind of like dipping into a little bit of everything, but I think we're going to pick a fruit to specialize in this game. So, I'm going to get into how this thing is played with the AI. So, you play with 4 dice. It's a very similar setup to the 2-player game. Boop, boop, boop. And we have a yellow to fit our corn theme here. It says in the rules you're not going to need the first player marker, but that's false in my opinion. So the way it's going to work is you're going to take your turn first, and the AI is going to take their turn second on the first round. Then alternating even numbered rounds, the AI will go first, and then you'll go first. So I really do like to use this because, again, in a game where it's really hard to track combos, it's easy to get confused, and then I also have to think about who's going first that round, and it's just too much. So I do like to use the little pumpkin meeple even when I'm not on stream. So obviously the first step is you roll the dice, and there's 8 rounds, by the way. It goes pretty fast, actually. And so you will arrange your dice in order from smallest to least. And so your little Farmer Edith, that's the AI's name, by the way, but this is 3 Sisters of the Corn, so we're going to call her Outlander Edith for purposes of this stream. So Outlander Edith starts here, little meeple, and then wherever she is where you will place the lowest number die, and then going clockwise around the rondel, you will place the other die. And if you have obviously multiple die of the same value, you just group them on that space. So the general actions on this rondel are, and we're actually going to go to the zoom here so I can show you. So the general actions on this rondel are, and there's multiples of a few. So you have the first one here where you start is apiary or fruit actions. So that's going to be filling out these tracks here on in your orchard here, if you're different fruit tracks, and they do different things, and your little apiary track. So for these in the fruit, you just kind of pick one. So you have apples, peaches, blackberries, raspberries, and you always start from left to right on these linear tracks like that, and always from bottom to top on tracks that go up like this. And you'll notice with the apiary track, it starts on one line and then it will bisect. So you can always, you just pick a direction to go in, and like if you can always then go back and, you know, start from another intersection or another intersection. You're not locked into one of these intersections. And they give you various bonuses. So you'll see things like anytime you see a ribbon, that's just points you'll get. If you see this little red icon with the box, that's filling out your goods track here, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but it's a sort of engine building / resource that will give you bonuses as you go along and fill it up. And then over here you have the shed, but we'll get to that. So the next action is you can plant or water, which is going to be on this other sheet over here. This is your garden, and you're growing pumpkins, grow around the edges of your garden. Okay, and you have 6 different zones. So 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. It kind of loops in a U. Okay. And so these pumpkins at the edge, they don't give you points, but once you fill one up, you'll get goods usually. And then once you fill up 2, you'll see these flower symbols in between. Like we have iris here and tulip. I know this is really messy. Let's go to the clean sheet. Other side, these are double-sided, so that's what we're going to be using for this round. It's a little easier to see things when they're clean, obviously. So yeah, like if I fill up this pumpkin track and this pumpkin track, then I will be able to then fill in this hydrangea action and take it automatically, which will let me fill in these perennial tracks down here, which I'll explain in a moment. So then we also have corn tracks, which are these 3-pointers, and then these bean tracks, which are 1-pointer ones once you fill them up. And again, you're starting from the bottom and going to the top. You cannot start filling your bean tracks until you get to the second square here on the corn. And then once that's sort of level with the first bean track, then you can plant there. So on the plant or water action, depending which die you choose, so there's 2 steps to the turn. So you're always, the first thing you do is you're going to get some automatic plant or water action, no matter which space on the rondel you're in, and you'll be able to either plant 2 things on one of these tracks. So you could plant some corn. If the corn is level with the beans, you could plant some beans as well, or you can plant in your pumpkin spaces there. Or you can water, which means you'll be able to, for any plants you already have an X on, you'll be able to then do the next X on all of them in that zone. So planting is just for the first X in those rows. It's not, you can't then, once you've done the first X in the column, you can't use the plant action to then fill the next one. You have to use the water action to do that. So that's kind of, and then obviously once you get to the top, you get the points. If you don't complete the plant all the way to the top, obviously you don't get the points. And same thing with the bonuses. So once you've marked 2, or you've watered all the things in that zone, then you can do the action on the rondel, which, so if you're on the plant or water action, you get a plant and water action from the die, always, and then you get an additional plant and water actions, how that would work. The next one is shed time. And so that's this area over here. Okay. And this is things. I love you're going and having some shed time. It's kind of hilarious. But here you will be able to fill out these things, and they give you points and also special abilities. So you'll notice there's like a little journal section down here. And I like to use that just to write in the abilities that I've unlocked, because it's real easy to lose track of what you're doing sometimes, as you will see. And I also realized I should probably work the face front capture into this thing. Hey, hi, there's me. I just thought I'd throw my face in here, even though it's blocking part of the zoom. But, I just will make it a tiny little box, just so you can kind of see me. I'll be over here down by the compost for now. So not quite a disembodied voice, but maybe some people are into that. And let me just check the chat real quick. Hi, Tim. Aw, Tim, you're so sweet. Is my audio really quiet? Thanks for that. How's it now, Tim? Is that better? Or too hot? Here I am, talking away, trying to teach the game. I'm using a new mic, so, that stuff is happening. When I plugged this into the phones, it was super hot. That's why I had the gain, like, super down on this thing. Hopefully that's better. And if it's not, you let me know. Boop. So, like I said, I like to use the journal thing. I do use this thing. Some people don't use this thing, but it is helpful just to remind yourself of what you have, so you're not going, wait, what have I unlocked in the shed? It can be quite busy at times. Thanks, Tim. Okay, things are happening with the audio. I feel like Jenna in her streams. My Blue Yeti fell and got dented, so I either have to replace a new one or we're going back to the Zoom one. But the Zoom recorder, it's not really a vocal recorder per se. It's supposed to be like a field recorder, so it's omnidirectional. So I had the gain down because I was just worried about it picking up. It picks up pins dropping like a block away sometimes. So that's all that. And these all do different things. We can kind of go over what they do, but it's generally stuff like every time you do another action, you get another thing. Like the mason jars, you get a good every time you harvest a blackberry. The pie safe, you get a good when you harvest apple or peaches. And some juicy ones like the rain barrel. After every rain, which is a event, end of round event that will happen, which will cause us to be able to water everything in our garden, then I'll get an additional zone I can water in. So that's a really juicy one to unlock. The hive tool is every time I take a crocus action or fill on the crocus, which is here on the perennial track, I'll also get an extra action, apiary action, which is helpful because it's really hard to get that apiary track boosted all the way to the top sometimes, especially because when I go over what Edith is going to do, she marks the stuff off. And then there's other stuff, other juicy things like, this new tractor is just 18 points if you complete it at the end of the game. The carving kit, you get a point per harvested pumpkin in your longest chain. But in the solo mode, obviously, like I said, Edith's going to be crossing stuff off, and she goes for the pumpkins first. So that's a little bit of a pipe dream. Might get you a couple points. Like I said, you don't get a crazy amount of points usually from the shed, but you could. Maybe I'll try to work on that this game. So that's shed time, does various things. And then we have, this action's pretty easy to explain. 1 compost and 4 goods. So you have this compost track over here. And I'll move my my face a little bit again. So there'll be various things that let you take compost on this track, and it's good for mitigating your die if you should desire to do such a thing. To maybe water in different zones. Like say you want a particular action on the rondelle, but you want to change the value of the die. That's what you can use this for. And there is an ability in the shed that lets you spend the compost to take extra actions. And I believe that is the shovel up, which my face is covering the shovel, but it's you get to spend 3 compost to take 1 star action. So this goods track down here, so again you get 1 compost and 4 goods for this action. So as you fill out this goods track, there's these little stars at intervals of 5. So once you go 1 2 3 4 5 and fill in a star, you get to take an action of your choice anywhere on these 2 sheets other than the garden. So you can't use it to plant or water in the garden, but you can use it to do anything else. So those are really useful. And also, Farmer Edith will be crossing some of those out along the way as well, just generally getting in our way. Outlander Edith, get out of here. Then you have another apiary fruit action that works the same to here for us. I'll explain how it's different for Farmer Edith. And we have more shed time. And then finally, we have the farmer's market action. So based on where you're at on this goods track, will determine what kind of action you can take based on this handy duty little chart. So if you're at less than 4, you'll just get a compost. If you're at more than 4, you'll get to cross something off on the perennial tracks and a compost. If you're at 20 or more, you get a perennial and you get a star action. It says star fruit, so I guess that's just for any of the fruit tracks. You can't use the farmer's market for the apiary, I'm pretty sure. Wait, let me just check that real quick, because I rarely get quite that far. It has to be a fruit action, yeah. So when you get past 35, you get 2 perennials and a compost, and it's just combinations of that the further you get. So that's all the actions that you will be able to take. And then at the end of the round, there are different events that will happen. They're usually just an extra one of these actions for the most part. So like the first round, we'll get an extra shed action. The second round, however, we'll get that rain action, which I mentioned before, which will basically just mean you get to basically do like a water action in every single zone. So it's, you're going to have, and that happens about... it happens twice in the first half of the game, and then once again at the end. So at the end of rounds 2, 4, and 8, you're going to get some good watering going on there. And then in rounds 3 and 5, you get an extra farmer's market action. And also in round 7. So those are the ones in between. So you want to kind of plan ahead a little bit for some of those things if you can, to the best of your ability. Let's move that a little bit. And let's go back out to a little more zoomed out. Yeah, this is the regular mode. Let me know if you can still hear me well, Tim, and Hannah if she shows up. So just for when I'm choosing my actions, we'll go out this way, and I'll zoom in as I get into some of the crunchier combos, just so you can kind of see what's going on. Oh, I didn't explain what Edith is going to do. It's not crazy complicated, but it is a little, it involves some checks for Farmer Edith. So you'll take your turn first, as I said, in the first round, and then in the alternating even round, she will go first. So once you've done your thing, so let's say I had 4, 4, and 5 before, right? So this probably will be our starter round, and we'll just kind of get into it. So let's say I had gone first, and then she goes, and so this would be a plant action. So actually, she wouldn't take that action. So the first rule, it's the cardinal rule for the AI, is they always take this first apiary or fruit action. So no matter where things are on the rondelle, she's going to try and take that apiary fruit action here with the golden push pin on it. And so these charts here will show you, based on the die value, what she's going to cross off on your sheet. So, like I said, Farmer Edith is crossing things off that make them unavailable to you. So in this case, what's going to happen is she is going to cross off. So it's based on wherever the blue pin is this. So she's going to cross something off on the apiary track when it's on this space. And then if this space isn't available to her, she'll just go to the next clockwise space. So in this case, there's a 4, and she's going to cross something off the apiary. So in this case, that's going to be wax. So she'll cross off the top section of the apiary, which usually has points. In this case, it's wax, which gives you 5 points and 4 goods. So that's kind of juicy. Then if that wasn't available, again, she just goes clockwise until, she reaches the thing. Then you will take another turn. You will have 2 turns per round, with 2 stages each. The planting and watering and then the action. And then there's also the event at the end. So then whoever the second player is, whether it's you or Farmer Edith, they have to take the lowest remaining die. They have to choose that action. So you have a little bit more freedom of choice on the first one and less of a freedom choice on the second. So like, let's say I decided I want to take the 5 per se, and then Farmer Edith takes the 4. Then I would have to do the 4 action because that's the lowest die and that's my second turn. So on the second turn, you always take the lowest remaining die for both players. And also at the beginning of the round, after you've placed out the die, you want to put the Farmer Edith on the next space clockwise on the rondelle so that you know, once you've taken all the die, where you're going to be starting the placement of clockwise die for the next round. So you place the die, boop, boop, then you would move her there. Just to kind of, little bookmark action. So we're officially heading into this first round. It only took me 30 minutes to explain the whole game, and I think I did an okay job. Also, for when she's crossing stuff out for the plant and water action, the order is she'll always cross off pumpkin first. And she'll never cross out anything in your garden that you've already planted. So once you get the first one on there, that plant is safe from her meddlesome tactics. But if the pumpkins are all filled, then she'll start attacking the corn. And if the corn is all planted, then she'll start attacking the beans. Now, if she attacks the corn, I just cross out the corn and the bean because you can't, obviously, if the corn's crossed off, you're not going to have access to the bean anyway. And it won't be till late in the game, really, that you'd be attacking beans. It takes quite a while to get, all your corn planted. So that's the order there. And then the other actions, there's particular things you have to check for. I explained in the apiary and fruit, it's based on the die value. For shed time, she's going to be crossing out a shed item, and that's also determined by die value. So there's another chart for that. So generally, you're just checking the die value, and you just do a thing. It's not too terrible to manage. And I think 1 compost and 1 good, she just crosses off. Oh yeah, she just crosses off the next thing on the goods track, which is kind of annoying, but not the worst thing. The thing you really want to try and mitigate the most, especially in the first part of the game, is her taking out things in your garden when you haven't had a chance to plant yet. And then the other one that's really annoying is her taking out stuff in the apiary because that track is quite juicy. Same thing with the fruit. So those are the 2 things you want to try to mitigate. Especially when you have the chance to go first, you want to try to cut her off at the pass as much as you can. So that said, I think I'm definitely going to do one of these 4s. And so I'm going to do some planting in my garden first. So I get 2. So I'm definitely going to do these pumpkins. Like, I have these nice 1-fur pumpkins are pretty good. And we'll go to the zoom, actually. So you can see now what I'm about to do. with this for. So definitely want the pumpkins. And when it's a bubble, I'm getting into this thing where I like to fill it in and then I X for the squares. So more visually cleared. Things will get quite messy as we start crossing stuff off. So that's my first plant. I could try to plant here and then get that crocus action sooner. I know she's going to attack pumpkins in 4, probably, if I don't end up taking it. In 5, so let's just try to protect. And the crocus one lets me get compost stuff, which if I decide I want to get the shovel, which will let me spend compost to get bonus actions, that would be good. So, or do I want to protect the daffodil action? That lets me get extra shed actions. Both are good. So, because the first thing she'll do with the die before she triggers the action is attacking me. But, so I think there's another crocus over here. Oh, also, you immediately get a good. This was a 1 for on the pumpkin, so I need to get a good. Okay, don't forget to do that. Which I forgot a bit last time. There is another crocus over here. And another daffodil. I mean, she's going to attack for 5, so she's going to take out one of the pumpkins here as well. So why don't we say, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the daffodil. I think the crocus seems like a better investment right now, knowing what she's going to do. And this is on an apiary or fruit action. Apiary or fruit. Right there. So I'm going to get started on maybe the apiary or one of these fruits. Raspberry gives you a lot of goods very quickly. Blackberries are points. There's special abilities which can help juice up my peaches and blackberries track, though, so I might wait on those. Oh my god, I love those raspberries, just getting the goods, just bumping that track up. However, like I said, she's potentially... What's she going to be attacking on this one? She's going to be going for the apiary, so there's nothing I can really do about that. But then next round, she's probably going to be attacking fruits, so... Well, knowing that, I'm just going to go for the raspberry and take 3 goods. This gets me close to my first star, just in case she starts taking off stars. I want to pump that a little more quickly in the early part of this game. So that would be my turn. So now she's going to take her turn. And as I said before, she always picks this section first if she can. So she's going to be doing an apiary or fruit action. And the blue push pin is on apiary. So she's going to be crossing something off in the apiary. So this is a value 4. So in that case, she's going to be crossing off wax. So she's just going to cross off this top part in wax. Oh, I was supposed to do her crossing stuff off in the garden first. Yeah, that's dramatic. So she's going to be crossing off section 4. So she always attacks the pumpkins first. So goodbye, pumpkins. Gone. Boo. That's fun. Not. So now it's back to me. She did her 2 things. See, it's pretty quick managing the AI, actually, because it's just based on the dice values, which makes it pretty automated. Truly automated. You don't have to make choices. She just does what she does. Because you do what you do. What is that? Oh, you just do what you do. So now I'm probably going to pick a 5. It's really my only option. There's no other lower numbers, but if there was a lower number, that's one I would have to pick. But we're doing 5 here. We're doing it here different. So let's see what I want to plant here. Well, we want to get in on probably some of this pumpkin action for sure. So that'll be 1. And hopefully I could get that hydrangea action, which lets me get extra fruit actions, which is always nice. And we should get started on some corn, probably. I love this cute little scarecrow here. I want a corn plant next to him. So that's my 2. And then I get additional plant water action, because it's the action space I was on. So it's going to also be in this zone. When you take the plant and water action, it's not, I don't believe it's anywhere. I think it has to be specifically on that spot. It's just an extra 1. Double check that though, because I've been wrong before. Plant or water. I think it works the same. I think it has to be based on the value. Oh, take a plant action or water action in the zone indicated by the value of the die. Yeah, so it has to be the same value. Just double checking. I have played this like at least a dozen times, but it's this morning was the first time I played it in literal months. So, you know. So we're in 5 still. So why don't we, and like I said, if I take a plant action, I'm not Xing the next thing off. That only happens when we water. I think I was doing that wrong in the last game is why I say that. I can't remember. Let's do some more corn, because why the heck not? Because, you know, now that my 1 pumpkin in this zone is filled out, Edith's going to be going for corn. So I'll just head that off. Okay, so now Miss Edith is here on 5. The mic is casting a little bit of a shadow on it. I'm just fussy. 5. So Miss Edith is going to be attacking that same section that I was in. Also, she's going to be taking an additional plant or water action, which means she's going to be crossing off 2 things, which is not great. But the pumpkin is filled, so she's basically going to take out these 2 corn here. So I'm really glad. I won't cross off the beans yet, just in case, because then, you know, when she comes here, she would need to cross out those beans. But I don't have access to them anyway, so whatever. But I'll do it that way just to be super on the nose about it. So she crossed out the 2, and that was her actions. So good there. Oh, I had a 5 over here. So now we're going to go to our event for this round, which is a shed action. Oh, I get to start in the shed. That's fun, don't you think? So my plan here with the crocus was to bump up this crocus track. This is where you have to get into like the chain kind of thinking. Because this is not just combos, it's like literal chains, like in Wild Space level chains. So that will get me more compost, which I wanted to. So I want to start on the shovel because the shovel, once I complete it, I get to spend 3 compost for an extra star action, which will let me probably work on this and the perennial track. So that will probably be the most useful. Also, when she does her shed action, Outlander Edith, it doesn't matter if I've already started on that shed item. If I haven't completed it, she still crosses it out, which sucks. So you could be working on something for a while, and then she like destroys all your hard work in the shed. Like, so the theme is she's your nosy neighbor. And she's just coming in, thinks she knows how to garden. She's just messing everything up. It's a little... She's like basically mansplaining gardening to you. And you're here doing like, you know, companion planting and doing like, you know, native indigenous planting styles and stuff. So clearly we know a little bit more about botany than Edith does. So that's kind of what's going on. So that's all around. Easy peasy. So this will go a little quicker probably now that I've explained things. And I already moved her there. So we just need to roll our die. Okay. 5s and 6s again. I don't know what is going on today. But that's not bad. I mean, you know, in a way it helps you minimize some damage, but also it means there's going to be more damage in one zone. So we're on shed time, and then you... So all the 5s would go on shed time, and then this would go on compost and goods. Just so we're clear about what's going on there. And then she would go to the next thing around the clock. So... Wow. There's 3 die on that one spot. But she's going first. So she's got to do her damage first. So again, she always starts from here and goes clockwise around. So that's how you determine which action she does. Nothing could be simpler. And so she's going to do a 5 action, which means she's going to cross out more in 5. So what that means is now that my pumpkin is crossed out and the corn is all accounted for, now she is going to attack beans. So let's just have her attack this bean. It's already taken out corn. I guess that's why you don't cross out the beans automatically. This is a good example of why. So I stand corrected myself. And then that was a shed time action. So she's going to cross off something here in the shed. Whoop. Sorry, I was trying to move this. But that is going to be determined by the rondelle. So there's so many die on it, it's blocking the thing. So she's going to take out the rain barrel. Oh no, I wanted the rain barrel. That's after rainwater zone. That's so useful. Damn it, Edith. Edith comes over, Outlander, says, hey, can I borrow your watering can and your water barrel and your whole hydroponic system? She brings it back, like, covered in like THC oil or something. You're like, I can't use this now. There's resin all over the tubes. How am I going to clean that out? Just ruins everything. I'm not implying that Edith is a pothead or that potheads aren't good at gardening. Actually, potheads would be really good at gardening, so I take that all back. It is legal in this state. Well, she did her thing. Bitch. So now I guess I get to do my thing. Do we want 5 or 6? So she's going to keep on going in 5, and she's just going to be taking out beans. So I'm just going to let her at with that and go to 6, so that at least she can't attack me in 6. That's sort of the strategy here when you're doing the solo mode. So 6. Let's do some planting. Let's get up on these. I don't want her attacking my pumpkins here. I want to get that hyacinth and that tulip here, because I just love hyacinths, you know. And that just lets me bump up some more goods, so that'd be a good track to do, and it's worth some points, so let's work on that. So that's my planting action, and that was on 1 compost and 1 goods, 4 goods, so I get a compost and 4 goods. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get a star action. Yay! So now I can do something else. I could start on one of the perennial tracks. The apiary or more raspberries. I think the raspberries, because I'm going to show you how I'm going to combo this in a second. So that gives me 3 goods. So I go 1, 2, 3, and then I get another star action. Yay. I could use it in the shed. That is a thing I could do. I think I shall. So she already took out the rain barrel. And again, just because you start it doesn't mean she can't cross it out. So, oh, the shovel. Yeah, that's what I should do. So I'll use my star action to get a shovel. So now I have my shovel. And I like to write in my little journal just real quick and try to be succinct about it. Shovel. Okay, 3 comp I can spend to get a star action. That's kind of how I like to do it. So that's good. So now Farmer Edith is going to go again. And again, she's on 5, so she's attacking 5. Let me know if this constant zooming in and out is annoying or not. I have my new toy and I'm just playing with it, and this is a good one to do it on. Or I could just leave it in this, and if you guys don't care about seeing the rondelle, that's fine. So she's attacking 5, which pumpkin, good, corn, good. So she's attacking beans. And then she's doing another shed time thing. So for the 5, the rain barrel is already taken out. So in the case of any time she can't cross anything off, she just passes. So that was a smart decision on my part to let her just take 2 5s in a row. So because then I'm just going to take the last 5. So I could water, or I could plant. I think it's a better idea. Oh, I can't plant the beans yet, though, because they're not level with my corn yet. So I'll water, which means I can move these all up. Watering everything in the zone. So now when the rain happens, those will bump up. I'll definitely be able to get some good scoring in this zone. And then I get some shed time. So I already got my shovel up there. By the way. Woo! And try to move this other little thing. And it's not moving. Here, let's do it like that. That's probably better. So got the shovel. How about these mason jars? 1 good per blackberry harvest. That was working well for me last game, actually. Or casserole dish, 1 point per 2 beans. So that would give basically double all my bean scoring, which could be useful. How about the crocus and the apiary? Let's just get started on the hive tool, because I have this crocus here, which I'm probably going to be able to get pretty soon, and move up that track. And that would be some nice double dipping. Now, next round, she's possibly going to be taking, that's going to be fruit stuff she's going to mess with. She's probably not going to be messing with the apiary. She may be messing with the shed. So what shed things could she possibly? She could attack the hive tool. Possibly. She's not going to attack mason jars, the fruit bowl. Oh, I wasn't able to get the fruit bowl last time. Or the casserole dish. Casserole dish. Doubling the beans. Sounds like a good idea. But the fruit bowl, I get, it's a maximum of 10. It's for however many different fruit tracks you worked on. And I didn't specialize. I sort of dipped in all the fruits last time, and that didn't really give me the best thing. So I don't think I'm going to go for the fruit bowl, actually. I'm thinking the casserole dish. Sounds good. I like the idea of getting, because each of the beans is only 1. So that would get me, oh, it's not doubling because, you have to complete the beans. So like 1 bean plant would be 1. But if you have 2 bean plants, for every 2 bean plants you complete, you get 1. So that still increases that bean score by 50%. which is still a nice boost. So I'm going to go with it. Okay, bye, Tim. Oh, working on a Sunday. Well, there you go. It's not my Sabbath, so have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope other people tune in. So, that was that. That was my shit action. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, that was my shed time. And I did my stuff in 5. I watered in 5. That's what it was. Okay, well, time for rain. This is the end of round event. So you basically go and just bump up anything you've already planted that's not complete yet. So like these pumpkins get a little, ooh, we have the rain. This pumpkin is going to be completed, and that means I'm going to be able to unlock this hydrangea thing, but let's do it. I like to do this a zone at a time so I don't lose track of these pumpkin combos. So I've completed the 2 pumpkins on either side of this hydrangea. So hydrangea, which means I can go and mark this off, which gives me an apple action on that track. So the apple and the peach work a little bit similarly. So you have to X first, and then the circles are the harvesting of the fruit. So if you have any special abilities that refer to harvesting apples or peaches, it's whenever you fill in a circle on those tracks that you trigger those things. But basically every time I harvest an apple, I get 3 points. So that's pretty good, actually. So yeah. Okay, so I'm still watering. I still have to water in 6. So these pumpkins are getting a little boost. And I haven't planted any corn there yet. I should probably get on that. 5's doing pretty good, though. But that's only 1 out of 6 zones. So we need to get some corn and beans going in the other ones. So now this goes back to me. I'll be going first this round, so I'll be able to mitigate Miss Farmer Edith a little bit better this time. Oh, we have 1 for once. So 1, 3, 4. Oh, wow, this is a spread. 6. So, as I established before, she always starts from here and goes clockwise. So she's going to be doing that 6 if I don't stop her, which means she's going to be attacking the apiary again with a 6 would make her take out the split hive. What does a split hive do? Plant or water times 2. I mean, that's good, but I doubt I'm probably going to be, if I do end up really bumping this apiary track, I feel like I'm more likely to go for wax or honey. Oh, yeah, and that's what she'd be attacking there. So maybe I'll let her do it. Possibly. If I go to 1, I could start working on this. Oh, I still want to bump up these pumpkins over here. I have the crocus action over here. And I got a hydrangea. So maybe I should put corn over there. See, but if I don't take the 1, this is where you got to start getting a little mathy in the solo mode. You could just to try to think, okay, well, you know what she's going to do, right? Like Outlander Edith is a very predictable woman. So if she goes for 6, she's just going to cross this out, but she's also going to attack some of my things in 6. And she's going to start there. Alternatively, if I take 6, she's going to do the 1, in which case she's going to attack fruit, and she's going to attack the apple track, which would be taking this victory point for me. I think I'm going to do 1. That's what's happening. So I've been planting this garden, and well, she's not going to be attacking one now, so I don't have to worry about the pumpkins quite yet. I need to get some corn going. Let's do one pumpkin, just because it gets me a good. Oh, did I get goods for that other pumpkin I did? This one, no, I didn't take a good for that. See, you lose track of things. Probably missed something else already. Who knows? So I got the one pumpkin. I could start on another or do some corn. I think I'm gonna do some corn because it's already the third round and there's only 8. It goes fast, so I need to get that corn going. And so I get an apiary or fruit action. That sounds good. I mean, I need to get this apiary going. Guys, I could have done a fruit. Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm going to use my action to do fruit instead, because it gives me 3 goods and a star action. So let's say I use that star action to then do the apiary. It's solo, so I can do such things. Okay, now Edith is going to go. I don't know why I'm doing that thing today. So she's doing this 6, so she's attacking me in 6, so she's just gonna cross out. Are there any pumpkins left? No, she's gonna attack some corn, so that's gone. And then she's going to, that's the apiary, so 6, yeah, she's taking out the split hive, so she crosses out the top here on that track, which is, I'm fine with that. I don't know. I've never really used that split hive. Maybe it's good. I mean, wow. Plant in any zone, then fruit times 3, then water times 2. It probably is good, but I've just never really explored that one. There's still a lot of, there's different paths in this. You can't do everything in this game. It's all about bump and track. So you gotta kind of pick and choose, similar to Hadrian's Wall. Like you can do a totally different kind of create different engine, different combos every time, so it's really fun. But at any rate, that's her. So next I have to decide if I want this 3 and some shed time. I haven't done anything in zone 3. Zone 4 would be the farmer's market. I'm not quite to 20 yet, which would be a nice juiced out farmer's market action. And that would mean if I let her, though, if I take 3 and let her take 4, she'll be taking out some of that corn. I forget what she does in case of the farmer's market. I think it's crossing out. Is it on the compost track, maybe? She crosses off the topmost empty box of a perennial track. She'd be crossing out the top of the hyacinth track. I mean, it's not the juiciest in terms of points. And I don't know how likely I am to just move up that just to get some piecemeal goods. You know, as much as I love just the idea of hyacinth. I love the hyacinth. But it's not the juiciest track, so I could just let her have it. To keep her distracted while I go do some stuff in the shed time. Have a little me time in the shed, you know? That's kind of feeling good. I don't know. I do know. I'm going to take 3. Because I haven't done anything in zone 3, so we need to do some planting. So, and maybe not just the pumpkins. Oh, here's more hyacinth. I could work on the pumpkins and get that hyacinth that she's about to cross off. I'm not going to get this iris. However, if I do this, or here, I can either get the hyacinth or the tulip. And the tulip track gets you a lot of fruit. Let's do that. And a corn. And this 3 came off shed time. So what do we want to work on in the shed? That casserole dish before she can take me out on that, probably. Okay, and that's an end game thing, so I don't think I really need to write it here. It's not an ongoing benefit, it's an end game scoring thing. So that is... Sorry. So now she's taking the 4 because that's all that's left. So she's going to attack me in 4. And as we've established, the pumpkins are covered, so she's just going to take out some beans, which I'm happy to let her do. I mean, corn, not beans. She's taking out corn. So, and then she's doing that farmer's market action, so she's taking off the top of the hyacinth. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now I'm going to get an extra farmer's market action as the event at the end of this round. Now I have in mind how her farmer's market action works, and not how my farmer's market action works. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm not quite at 20, so I get a perennial action and a compost. Well, I guess we're saying screw this hyacinth and we want to work on the tulip maybe and get a fruit action or another shed action. I think the tulip and get a fruit action. More raspberries? That wouldn't quite get me to that 20 star, unfortunately. She almost took out my apples before, you know. What's the one that juices up my peach harvest? The pie safe, I get 1 good per apple peach harvest. So I'll start on the peaches, and then I need to work on the pie safe maybe before she, and hope she doesn't take it out. But as my piano teacher always said, hope is not a plan. But when you have random dice rolls, you can only plan so much for such things. So that was our event. So we're going to round 4, where we're going to have another rain, which is always helpful. Oh, I had espresso that I never poured. Here, I'll do a dramatic on-camera pour. It's cold now, but I'm going to be putting oat milk in it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, maybe not too much because this is pure espresso. Let me get my oat milk. So me and Rich were at the store last night. This is a little story time. I'm going to take a break for the story time because we're almost halfway through the game anyway. And so he's lactose intolerant, like especially when it comes to cream. And the one Christmas time thing that I get really festive about that I have to have every year is eggnog because I love eggnog. And obviously he can't have eggnog because cream. And so I was looking for non-dairy eggnog. And so last week we got some, it's called Good Karma, I guess is the brand. It's flax milk eggnog, and it literally tastes like coffee creamer. It's awful, and not at all like eggnog, and didn't even work that well as coffee creamer either. So I was like, well, my sister's also lactose intolerant, and the one she always gets is, we have a local nut factory company called Blue Diamond, which you might have seen their products in the store if you're in the US. Um, they're local to Sacramento, and so they have this eggnog they make every year. So it's almond milk eggnog because they make almond products. They also have my favorite crackers. They make these rice and almond flour crackers, which are so light and crispy. But anyway, I got that for him, and while we were there, I was like, well, why don't we try some other different non-dairy milks, because he wanted some more Mexican hot chocolate. Ibarra brand. Make sure you don't get Abuelita, because that's Nestle. Nestle's evil. But I was like, well, let's try some other non-dairy milks. They had quite a few. They had like cashew milk and the coconut almond blend and stuff, and also a lot of oat milk, which I had heard oat milk is the most similar to regular milk, at least in consistency and taste, and they were right. This one is like really it's really creamy and it's rich from the oats. So I'm gonna try this in my espresso. Usually I put cream in my espresso, like not creamer, like I just put straight cream in my espresso because I usually don't use a crazy amount. And I usually don't put milk in my coffee. I only put it in espresso. It's pretty close to the regular cream. Like, I think if you gave someone oat milk and side by side with a glass of milk, it'd be very hard for them to tell the difference. Dairy milk is a little more sour. It would be the only difference, I think. And the oats, it has this earthier taste a little bit, but it's not like overpoweringly earthy or anything. But it's, yeah. So that was my new discovery, oat milk. And I'm not like lactose intolerant or vegan at all. But I have a lot of vegan friends, so I like to stay abreast of such things. And I'm like, well, if I don't, and milk is expensive, man. Well, the oat milk's expensive too, but you know, I use milk so infrequently that I'd rather get just a quality non-dairy milk if I'm going to do it anyway. You could probably use this in like savory dishes too that need milk. So, oat milk. Welcome to California. So, we're on a new round. And this is a even numbered round. So she's getting the pumpkin. And did I roll these already? These look like I rolled them. But we'll roll them again. If someone in the chat can tell me, because I totally forgot after the whole story if I rolled. I think I rolled them. We're just... No, maybe it didn't. Maybe I just dropped them in there. Okay, we're doing an official roll now. This is the official start of the round. So it's the official roll. Any other rolls that may have happened in the past. There's 3, 4 on the shed time, and 2 5s on 1 compost, and 4 goods. The next round, she's going to be attacking my fruit. So this is the round to really work on some fruit action. You know? Oop. I am going to be getting a rain at the end of this round, which is always helpful. Why does this look so crooked? Anyway. So, again, she goes clockwise, so she's going to be attacking 3. Ooh. I don't have a choice. Well, this pumpkin's going. Say goodbye to that. And I'm not going to be able to get this hyacinth or this iris anyway, so I just like to X them out just to remind myself that you have to get the pumpkins on both sides of them completed. So those are gone. I'll still be able to get that tulip. Oh, and she has to take out one more thing because that was a planter water action. So she's taking out a corn. Let's just have her take out this corn here. So I'm thinking some shed time. Have something I started that didn't complete? I was going to try to do the pie safe, huh? I also wanted to try to do the hive tool, but I'm thinking the pie safe, because then once I start harvesting more apples and peaches, I'll get some extra goods. So, oh, but I have to, you know, plant and or water first. So, let us, we're in 4. I could complete this and get a crocus action. But I want to wait on the crocus for when I get the hive tool completed. So let's leave that for now. And let's just plant some corn here. Okay, and then I get some shed time. So I think the pie safe and the rain barrel. Oh, also the mason jar would give me some benefits too. Now, because I'm taking the shed time, she's not going to be attacking any of that. So, either the pie safe or the mason jar, I think, because those are going to be safe probably until the round after next. So, now's the time to get started on those. Let's do the pie safe. Okay, so now what's Edith going to do? Because it's back to her. So she's going to do that 1 compost and 1 good. She's going to attack in 5. So, yeah, I think it's down to her taking out some beans. So, then 1 compost and 1 good. So I believe that's where she just crosses off one of these. So she crosses out the next one. So that's 20. So I'm not going to get a star when I pass 20. I just skip it over. So, I mean, there's that. So that's her. And now I have the take the 5 because it's the last one left. So I'm going to be planting and or watering in 5. I mean, there's nothing. I could plant the beans. I don't need to plant the beans because it's going to rain at the end of this round. So that'll help me auto-complete those beans and this corn. Yeah, that would auto-complete all that for sure. So that's smart. And then I get a compost and 4 goods. So let's get a compost and 4 goods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can use the shovel at any time to spend 3 compost to get a star action. Is now a good time to do that. Then I'll only have 1 compost left. Timing it is kind of... You can always wait till the end and just use a bunch of compost to do a bunch of things too. So I don't have to do that now. But something in me is saying now is the time. Should I follow my feminine intuition? Because if I did that, so let's say I used my shovel ability and I would cross out these 3 compost here. And that would give me a star ability. I could bump up the tulip. Or, what else did I do? One of these fruits. Or the daffodil and get another shed action and just finish the pie save. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. So you just X out the ones that you used. And that star ability, I'm going to fill in this daffodil, which gives me an extra shed action, which will be completing my pie save. So I get +1 good for app and peach. Cool. I think that was worth it. So now it's time for rain. Here comes the rain again. Drop it on my head like a new emotion. So, and I'll just zoom in for this, just because. Just because. So we're watering here. That gets bumped up. There's nothing in 2. I got to work on 2 for sure. Oh, completed a pumpkin. Okay. So that means I get another good. Make sure I do that. I always forget to do that. Now here in 4. Another one there. Another one there. And we completed this pumpkin, which gives me 3 more goods, which means I'm going to get another star. Okay, hold that thought on the star. This is where combos get complicated. So I got the 3 goods, which triggered the star. I also completed both pumpkins, which gets me this crocus, which means I get 2 more compost from this perennial track. Boop. Boop. Now, I also have a star action I can do. I could do another shed action. I could do the fruit. I unlock the pie safe. Gives me more goods. The tulip would juice up my peach harvest, though. This is feeling like a good thing just to get this goods track pumping up a little bit. So now I get 2 goods per peach harvest. Oh, I think is that ongoing? Or is this a one-time thing? Oh, hold up. When I harvest a peach. This is an ongoing thing. I thought it was a one-time thing, like based on how many I've already harvested, but I haven't harvested any. No, that's +2. So then I'm going to get +1 when I do the pie safe, and then +2 for my tulip there. Okay. Just remember that when I harvest a peach, I get +3 goods. When I harvest an apple, I only get 1. That's kind of how this game is sometimes. Okay. Well, that was that. That was just zone 4. Now we're reigning in zone 5. I completed all of this. Cool. Zone 5 has gotten me some good scoring. It's like 12 or so points right there, I believe. So now I need to get the upper half. Like, I'm doing okay in the bottom half of my garden, but the upper half of my garden needs a little bit of love in the second half of the game. But I'm not doing too bad. So that was a rain. This comes back to me. I will be going first. Can't see. I took this back. I think this is an improvement in stream quality. Yeah, I'm working on it. We're working on it all the time. I felt so bad, like when we did My Island, and my computer died, and then I had to relaunch everything, and then I forgot to re-click the start streaming button on OBS. So the first hour of the last chapter of My Island stream just gone, and it's like, well, that's live streaming for you. And then we messed up all kinds of stuff, especially in that last chapter. So it's whatever. Review coming soon for My Island. Okay. That was a 1, by the way. It was on the pumpkin. Then 2 3s on the shed time and 4 on the farmer's market. Okay. So, planning phase. That's what this first part is called when you're choosing the actions, the planning phase. Then you have your garden actions and your rondelle board actions. What are they called? And then the event. Rondelle actions, yeah. So you've the gardening phase. So planning phase, gardening phase, event phase. It's FYI. That's the terminology they use in the rulebook. So she's going to be attacking 1, which is going to be my fruit. So she's attacking those apples. If I take that one, then she's going to go after 3. 3's not going to be looking good if I let her do that. Also, the shed time. What's she going to attack in the shed time? Oh, pitchfork. What's the pitchfork do? Land, hydrangea, +1 compost. I mean, using my shovel, the compost would be good. It would be good to have more compost. But do I think I'm going to get more hydrangea? Really? Realistically? It could happen. I mean, it doesn't matter what I do. She's going to attack in 3 anyway. So, because there's 2 there. So, I'm just going to do the 1. And we're going to do some stuff. Yeah, 1 needs a little bit of love. So let's at least protect my hydrangea action now that she's resolved me that. More crocus action, maybe. Get that as compost too. I could plant this bean or plant more corn. Should I go for the pumpkin? I'd actually have a pretty good pumpkin string going. And then I could work on the carving kit. I'm going to do it. And then I get an apiary and or fruit action. Well, let's do this because this gives me a fruit. That apple. She keeps on threatening the apple. Let's just lock that in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now she goes clockwise. Boop, boop, boop. She's doing 3. She's attacking in 3. So she can't attack any more pumpkins. So she's going to attack some corn. So just let her take the corn. Then she's going to attack shed time. She's going to take out the pitchfork, which we decided we don't want. Anyway, so that's her. So I could do the same spot with the 3. This 3 is looking pretty jank. I could plant some beans and some corn there, or I could go to 4 and do a farmer's market action, which might help me trigger some things, or the shed time. And really work on that carving kit. I think she's unlikely to attack shed. The carving kit is not here for that one. If I don't take the 3, I think I'm going to take the 4 instead. Or, because she's already taken the pitchfork. So that would be the least amount of damage there. And 3 is already... then I can start on my carving kit. If I take 4, there's only so much I can do here. I could plant the beans. I could plant these 2 beans, and that's about it. But then I could also take a farmer's market action, and I'm past 20, so I'd get a perennial action. Ooh. You know what? I think I should do 3. Because all the next ones on the perennial tracks, I don't think are going to give me as much stuff right now. It's not really going to trigger things for me the way I want to. I would get a star fruit. You know what? I'm going to take the 3. That's what's happening. And I'll show you why. So we need she's attacking pretty hard in 3 for some reason. So well, let's get some corn going and this bean. And then I get a shed action. So do I have anything else started that I didn't finish? No, let's do the carving kit. I still have this crocus in the apiary I haven't started on. But this, I know I'm going to be able to get this string of pumpkins, so that could be some good scoring. So let's go for the carving kit right now. And that's that. That's me. And so now she's going to do 4. So she's attacking again in 4. Outlander Edith thinks she's being helpful, but my plants politely disagree. So she's attacking 4. All the corn. So she's got to take some beans out. So she's taking the beans out. And then this is farmer's market thing. So she's just crossing off more hyacinth, which doesn't affect that much. So I think I made the right decision. I made the right call. So now for my end of round event, farmer's market. So, oh, that's good, because now I'm going to get that action anyway. Duh. So I get a perennial action and another starfruit action. So let's do the perennial action first. Like I said before, though, it's just about which track I want to bump up at this point. Tulip is seeming more likely. I get 1. If I get to the top of here, I get 1 point per fruit. I assume that I've harvested. So the circles. Max of 15. That could be good. That could be like the most. We'll make that my perennial action. Then for my fruit action, I should bump this goods track a little bit more, do you think? Oh, when I did that apple thing, I had my pie safe. I should have gotten a good for that. Because of my pie safe. I get 1 good every time I harvest an apple, and I did. So, let's harvest a peach. Do that as our fruit action. Because I also get a water action every time I harvest a peach. Which I believe is 1 zone. But I'll check that in a second. We'll do that after I get this. So I get 3 goods every time I harvest a peach. 1, 2, 3. So now for the water bonus off the peach track. When I harvest a peach, I take a water action in the zone of my choice. So, yeah, let's water somewhere. Maybe here to get that work towards that crocus. There's not going to be another rain until the end of the game. In 3, this section is done. This one would have me triggering some things. But I think that's going to get to where it needs to be without 2. Yeah, I think in 1, we will water here. Work on those pumpkins. Unlock some crocus action. So I need to get that hive tool done, I think. Pretty soon. And also finish the carving kit. Okay. Round 6. So we're in getting towards a place. Okay. 3 and 3 on the apiary. Ooh. That's going to be gnarly. And 6 and 6 on planter water. Oh my. It's time for some decisions. Decisions making time. So, she always starts here. So she's for sure going to attack my apiary. She's going to be taking out some wax. Actually, that's not bad because that one's not getting me anything. She already crossed off the top. So, so she's going to take that for sure. She's going to attack in 6 twice. So, let's just... Oh, and this is an even numbered round. So she's going first anyway. So she's attacking in 6. Twice. So pumpkins are good. She's going after corn. Kiss them goodbye. Yeah, I could take both the 3s. I'm just going to let her. She can have the wax because, as I said here, it's like not going to affect me that much. So I think I definitely need to take the 6. I need to like protect some things. So plant the corn. I could only plant one thing because I'm not going to be able to plant these beans. Or just finish these, at least one of these pumpkins. And get closer to doing maybe the hyacinth, the tulip action. I think that seems... Well, that would be a watering action. Hopefully I haven't been getting this too wrong. Hopefully I've been doing, you know, making sure I do the difference between my plant and my water. Because when I water, I can do everything. I hope I've been doing that. So when you plant, that's just the twofer. It's the first one. After that, it's watering. You're watering everything. So why don't we just... But if I plant that... Because I'm going to get another water action. So why don't... Yeah, because this is on the plant and water. That's going to be my rondelle action. So why don't we plant the corn? That's my plant action. Then my water action, I can do this. And I get 2 goods from finishing that pumpkin, which is good because then I get a star action here. And let's zoom in. So what should my star action be? Work on the peaches, maybe. Or the apples. Or the shed. Probably the shed. I said I need to get the hive tool going. I also need this carving kit to get completed. Look, we need to start on this hive tool. We only have a couple rounds left to get it done in, so that's precious. But is there something else I could trigger? Could I trigger a chain of something? That would be nice. Oh, I have some compost I could use for another... What about this iris? Plant, water, and +1 zone. Yeah, let's do the iris. Because it gives me +1 compost. And why don't I cross off 3 compost to take another star action. Which could be in the shed. And we'll start on the hive tool. There you go. That's efficient. So now it's back to Farmer Edith, and she's going to be doing 3. One of these 3s here. So she's attacking me in 3, which is already looking very verklempt, but so she's just attacking beans at this point, basically. So there's 1, and then she does the apiary fruit action, 3, blue push pin. So yeah, she's just taking off this wax here, and as I said, that's just an empty square. So what do I care about empty squares? I don't, Edith. Which leaves me with the 3. So now I can try to do some things here. So 3. Ugh. I mean, it's going to be a water. I can't really plant. So we'll just water. Just let me finish that bean. And I think that's it. And it was up there on and get an apiary or fruit action. I'm really neglecting this apiary track, guys. It's not looking good there. Well, I'm getting more goods from the peach and apples, so I should probably bump that track. I'm getting to the point where I need the choices I make now are really going to affect what I'm going to be able to get done by the end of the game. I don't know if apiary is going to be it. I think fruit, because what was the thing that gives me scoring for fruit at the end of the game? It was a thing. I thought it was a thing. Oh, it must have been in the perennial thing, right? Yeah, the tulip one. If I get bumped that track, I think it's going to be, and I said at the beginning, I wanted to focus more on perennials this game. So the apiary is probably not going to be it. So let's do fruit. And let's do peaches. What else is in the teaches of peaches? Huh? What? Yeah, right. I need to make that a clip. The clip from the Teaches of Peaches. Actually, the song is called "Fuck the Pain Away," so this is not a family channel. So just in case, newsflash. Except there are a couple of kids that do watch this channel. So sorry, Kat. Sorry, John. Hashtag not sorry about it. What was that I was doing? That was my apiary. That was my fruit action. That was my fruit action. Yeah, in either case, I wouldn't have really triggered anything. So now we go to our end of event. So I get a shed action. That's good. I want to get this hive tool because I keep on waiting on the crocus, doing the crocus actions because I want to double dip in the apiary. That's the only way I'm going to get stuff in the apiary, I think. Because if I'm doing an actual fruit or apiary action, like from the rondelle, it's just going to be bumping these. And so I need to think about those double dippy kind of combo-y things for this one. So that's good. Back to me. This is the penultimate round. Bunch of ones. I moved this last time. Didn't I? I don't think I did. I think she's supposed to be here. That's why you gotta do it automatically. When you do place the dice, make sure you move the meeple. Otherwise, you'll get stuck and get off with the little rondelle action. So, she's on 1. I am going first this time. Ones. Ooh, she'd be taking out a bunch of corn in my ones. The 4 is pretty well protected. She'd just be taking out some beans, which I'm losing out on a point. That's not the worst. The 6, if she gets there, I mean, she's not going to get there on the first one. She's going to start with this one, so I should just take the 1, I think. So, yeah, let's plant. We need to get some planting going. Well, definitely, I think the corn. And then we'll see what happens with the beans. I mean, she's going to attack the beans. So the corn is worth 3 times as many points. So that's what's happening. And I get some shed time. So yeah, we're finishing the hive tool. Oh, I'm glad that happened quickly when I decided to do it. So hive. So when I do a crocus, I get an apiary action, which will be useful for doing that. Okay. That was my shed time, so it's back to Farmer Edith. And she's going here, because again, she always goes clockwise, starting from this point. She's attacking in 1. So she's taking out beans. Oh, and she only takes out one. Sorry, I'm used to her taking out two at a time. And then she's going to be doing the shed. She's taking out those mason jars. Oh, well, Jesus wept. I didn't end up taking this time. I had several chances to get some mason jars. I haven't really been touched my blackberry track at all. This game's very different than last game. It was all about the blackberries. And I think I was doing a little better in the shed. I'm doing okay in the shed. I have like 4 things now, and I'm working on a 5th. So I think it's fine. So that was her. So now it's back to me. So it's either 4 or 6. Now, if I let her take 6, she's going to be attacking my raspberry track here. If I let her take 4, she's going to be crossing off this star action, though. But then she'd be attacking. Maybe I want her attacking 6 and just take out the beans. There. That might minimize my damage. If I let her go to 4... I mean, either or, really. I guess it's just a question of what I want to get done in those regions. Because if I water in 6, I could complete this pumpkin here and get a hyacinth action, which would get me 2 goods. Could I trigger a crocus action somewhere? I can also use, I have 1 compost I could use to mitigate the die from a 6 to, well, 5 is done, but I could mitigate it to be a 1, and then would I be able to water? I could water there. That's feeling good. And then I get a fruit or apiary action, and that will probably be able to trigger something, maybe. Or at least get me more goods. But then I might be able to get the crocus soon by the last round. And this is the penultimate round. So this is my last action before the final round starts. Well, other than the event. Which will be a farmer's market. So I want to bump up this goods track as much as I can. So I think I am going to take 6. But I'm going to use one of these composts to make it a 1. And it says in the rules you can wrap around in this game. Like in Castles of Burgundy. I like a good old dice wrap around. So we can water. And just bump all these bitches up. Woo! Got that corn done. And I got this pumpkin gun, which is 2 goods. And that means I get a hydrangea action. Cool. Hydrangea's doing pretty good. Oh, I don't get anything extra from that, though. I need to get to that blackberry action. Does that trigger anything else? I don't think so. So there you go. So Farmer Edith is going to have to go one more time. She's attacking in 4. Which means she's taking out these beans. I never crossed out that daffodil. I'm not getting that daffodil. I have a pretty good pumpkin string this game. Usually she just totally messes you up on any kind of pumpkin string. So that's nice. So she was on 4. Oh, and she's the one composting good. So she's just crossing out the next star, which is sad, but such is life. So now I go to my event, my farmer's market. So am I past 35 yet? I don't think so. I think I'm still at 33. So it's a perennial action and a fruit action. So I think I will be able to get some things going on, actually. So for my perennial action, I could bump this up, get some goods, and then for my fruit action, I could get some peaches going, which would let me water and be able to get maybe a crocus action in here. Now I just forgot everything I just said. That's what I'm going to do. I just announced it. So hopefully you guys can hold me accountable on that one. Yeah, that's totally what I'm going to do. Whatever I just said sounded amazing. So farmer's market, my perennial action, I'm doing the tulip. Right? To get 3 per peach harvest, 3 goods per peach harvest. Well, either way, that's going to be my perennial action. I don't know if that's the one I said I was going to do, but then for my fruit action, we're harvesting a peach. And every time I harvest a peach, I get 3 goods. 1, 2, 3. Oh, plus 2. Now 3 per peach harvest. And this isn't additive, so I don't have 5. I think it's 1 more. So now I get 3 for each peach harvest. It is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not additive. Yeah, it's just sort of progressive. Okay, definitely we should be able to complete that tulip track and get some juicy scoring. Ooh, exciting. And now I get to do some watering in a zone of my choice, which I think is definitely going to be this zone, so I can complete this one. So I get 3 goods from completing that pumpkin. 1, 2, which will give me another star action. Okay, hold that thought on the star action, because I'm going to do my, I completed this crocus here. So I get a crocus action, which is +1 compost. Yay! Compost again. And then anytime I do a crocus action, I get to bump up this apiary, which is good. I'll get to that. ×2 fruit or something else. So now I have a star action, which I think we should use in the shed. Maybe. We're definitely going to get some shed time as an action in the final round, though. I could use it to get more fruit actions and just trigger more things. Let me check on that. This says fruit ×2 if I do use it on the apiary. I think, yeah, it could be 2 of the same action, right? I could also use it to bump up the tulip track, which wouldn't get me anything. So, yeah, let's use it on the apiary. Fruit ×2. So I could get 2 fruit actions. And why don't we just have that be the peaches? What else is in the teaches of peaches? Because now I get 3. Oh, is it 4? Yeah, it's 3 from here and 1 from the pie safe. So it should be 4. Oh, so I should have gotten 1 more the last time I did it, right? I think so. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's another star action. Let me water first before I do the star action. I think I should do the star actions last because it's a bonus. So I can water in a zone of my choice. So let's just try to complete more things. I could get another hyacinth action. This string of pumpkins is, I just need to complete this one. I haven't even worked on this one. Dare I start it? It's unlikely it'll get done by the end. I feel like... And I have nothing going on here. It's just a water action, though. It's not a plant. So I can't use it to plant anyway. How about watering in 3? Because 3 got hit pretty hard. And it might be nice to get some of that stuff. Or, same thing in 4. Well, let's do it in 6. You know. So we get one thing there. And, oh, I completed that pumpkin. So that's 3 more goods. And another tulip. Which lets me cross this out here. And I'll definitely be able to finish that tulip track, which is great because that'll be a lot of points. Now I still have a star action. I still have a star action. I could just do a crocus just to trigger an apiary thing. I do want to get the carving kit too, though. And how much shed time do I think I'm going to... How much shed time do you think I'm going to be able to trigger in the last round? Because where are my shed bonuses? They're on the daffodil. And I don't know if I'm going to trigger another daffodil. I could use any star actions I get to trigger that potentially. I mean, I just want to finish the carving kit. I want to lock this into place. So, and I'm not sure the apiary is, it'll get me some stuff if I could get up on this. Ugh. So many choices. I think so I either cross out the crocus, get an apiary, or what's the other option? Oh, just work on the shed. I think the apiary would probably yield more potential bonuses. So we're going to do that because it gets me a compost too. So, you know. Okay. That was a lot. So, and I still have a farmer's market event. Wow, this round was something else. So did I pass? Oh, I'm almost to 50, but not quite. So I get 2 perennial actions and another compost. So I could cash in, but I might wait till the end of the game. So, yeah, let's bump up that apiary. I think that's what's up. Wait, what? Let me do the crocus? Oh, the farmer's event. Lets me get 2 perennial actions. So let's do the crocus, which gives me 2 more composts. And another apiary track. Let's do this one. Gives me 2 more goods, which is going to give me another star event. Okay, hold on. Hold on, star event. Oh my god. So that's my first perennial action. That's everything. Well, I could just do the star event. So that's my first perennial action. So why don't I just do the other star action? And let's use the other star action to... Here, I definitely want to be able to get this carving kit. That's what the star action would be. So I get another perennial action. Damn, girl. Well, just another crocus. Pump it up. It's my other perennial action. Then I get 4 more goods. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another star action. Well, let's just finish the carving kit, guys. Then I get a fruit action. So we could just pump up those peaches, get them ready to go. What about the apples? I don't like apples. I hate apples. So we're all about the teaches of peaches today and sex on the beaches. Check out my Chrissy behind. Yeah, you know it's fun. Chrissy behind that Crisco. Okay, that was everything, I think. Oh, wow. Okay, brain. We're going. We're going. I moved her last time, right? Yeah. No, I didn't. Did I not? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember. So that's where she's at now for the final round. That's just what's happening. No, because it was like here and here. This is why you need to move it immediately after you place the dice, because you forget. You forget. I think they were here, right? Yeah, because she attacked me double. Or was going to attack me double. I think that's where she is. In any case, that's where she is now. I do not know. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, it's a spread anyway. 3, 4. That was a 3. I do like these dice. These are nice acrylic dice. Very nice. Very tactile. Very techy. So this is the final round. Oh, you guys didn't even see me rolling the die and placing them. Sorry. I'm still getting used to going back. Now I have like 3 different scenes on this thing, OBS. Am I figuring it out? Am I figuring out how to do this streaming content creation thing? One would hope. After 20 plus hours. That my island session. Ugh. So this is the final round. The final countdown. Let's see what I can get done. I'm not doing bad on my goods track. And I'm definitely doing better on the perennials track. I don't think I need to do much else in the shed. For sure. So what's she taking out? She already took out the mason jars. So that's fine. She'd take out some of these beans here, which I may be okay with. That would cross out another star. I don't want her to do that. So that may be the one I end up taking. 3 here. She'd be attacking my fruit, my peaches. Oh, no. But she'd go to one of these first. So I can always... Oh, she goes first anyway. It's the last round. Even round. She always goes first in even rounds. So she's attacking 1, whether I want her to or not. And that's on, yeah. So she's just taking out a bean. Then she's going to do some shed time. She already took out mason jars, so nothing else happens. Cool. So if I don't go here, she's going to attack. 2 is just untouched. There's a huge hole in my garden. It's pristine, this virgin plot, but not for much longer if I don't go here. That would get me compost in 4 goods, which isn't going to trigger anything. However, do I think if I plant here now, I'm going to get anything done? I am getting 1 final rain, and I could get another water from the peaches, but that's not going to be enough to get any corn done. Maybe some beans done. Same thing with this pumpkin here. So I have a pretty good string of pumpkins. So look, this is basically an unbroken string around. I've never seen this happen. So a game of this before, but that's why I really wanted to get that carving kit done. So maybe not 2, because that roundel action isn't gonna trigger enough things for me right now. And if I take a fruit action, I can get that peach going. What's going on in 3? I could water in 3 too. Or 4, get some shed time. Do I think I'm going to get another thing? I could get the mulch would be a point. I don't really think there's anything else left in the shed. It's going to do much for me right now. The fruit bowl, if I could complete it, which is a big if, but we just had a bunch of huge chains in the last round, so I have a feeling that's going to happen this time too. Of course, when you go to the shed, you're not triggering as much unless you do the fruit. And, well, she's definitely going to go there. So 3 and 4 are all me. So might be good to do the shed first, and then when I really chain things by doing the fruit action, I can get a lot of stuff going on. So things I would get, I don't know. It's a little late to be starting on something new in the shed. You know? Other than the mulch, which would be allow me, it's 1 point, allow me to take 1 perennial action instead of the rondelle action, which I probably don't want to do anyway. I could use some compost to mitigate this and do something in another zone also. So 5 is done. I don't think I really need a water because 6 is close to done. 4, this would help to complete these things. I think I'll just do 4 now. And just water those things. And get my shed time go. I have to take shed time anyway. So I might as well I mean, the mulch, it would get me a point. I'm definitely not going to be able to get something like the seed spreader. When planting, plant up to 3 crops. Well, it's a little late for that. I could work on the string trimmer to just get points. Fancy labels. If I get that done, I would need another farmer's market action really to juice that up. The fruit bowl, yeah, if I had 1, 2, 3, I could get 7 points out of that if I complete it. Let's go for the fruit bowl, whatever. Doesn't matter at this point. So now back to Farmer Edith. She's going to 2. She's attacking in 2, and whatever. I mean, she's taking out the pumpkin. And then, oh, she's crossing out the next star. Boo. But that's her. So now for my final rondelle action. Not necessarily my final reaction string. Well, probably my final reaction string of the game, because the rain is probably not going to trigger anything, because I think I've unlocked all the pumpkin things. All the perennial actions that would be triggered by completing pumpkins, because most of my pumpkins are complete. So this is going to be probably my last chance to trigger some things with a fruit or apiary action. Probably a fruit action. So 3, do I want to just water in 3 or use some compost? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compost here. So if I get just 1 more compost, I could do 2 extra star actions using my shovel. Or do I want to use it to be able to, like, water in 3? That would help me complete those. 5 is done. I only want to use 1. And the rain is going to auto-complete 4 for me, you know? So I think I am going to use 1 to make it a 3. So I can kind of, I could plant a bean. No, we'll just water. It's a difference of 1. I don't think it's going to matter that much. And then I can get a fruit or apiary action. Probably a fruit action. Oh, I could do some more watering. Or more goods. If I just do apiary action, I'd just be getting 5 points, which isn't bad. I'm not going to be able to trigger anything there with a star action because she crossed off my next star. I'd have to get some other kind of chain going, which I don't foresee happening at this point. So let's just take the fruit action maybe to water. Yeah. Just prime the pump on something. Well, or the apple. An apple's probably not going to get me much. 3 more goods. Well, and that would harvest the peach as well. So I harvested a peach. So that means I get four more goods. Oh, I wanted a perennial action. That's what it was. To complete this. Oh no. I don't think there's anything I can do about that though. So, yeah, I'm just getting the 4 goods from the peaches. It's so close. If they hadn't crossed that out, I could have done it. Oh well. So I do get to water. That's done. I mean, we're going to have a rain anyway, so maybe the peaches with the water wasn't the best thing. But I could have done the blackberries and gotten 2 points from that. Or the apiary. Yeah, let's just pretend I didn't do that. I didn't harvest that peach and just get 5 points for honey. I think it's best. I don't need the extra watering to complete anything else, really. So I don't see the point in taking that, and I'm not going to be able to take that last star action by bumping the goods track anyway, and it doesn't really affect end game scoring. So Edith gets a final turn before we go to the last event. So she's going to 3. And she's just taking out a bean. And where was she? Oh, I took the 3 away, and now I don't remember what it was on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she was here. So she's crossing off some more wax. Oh, but I already got it. So take that, Outlander Edith. I keep on going between Outlander and Farmer. I can't decide which it is. So there's that. So it's time for final rain and a final zoom on this thing while I do the scoring. So I have a final rain. So these corn are complete in zone 1. That's nothing. 2 was basically practically untouched the whole game, except she did take out that pumpkin there. That would have been nice if I could have gotten that iris and that tulip. You know, would have been good, but especially the tulip. Oh my god, I was so close to... How many points would it have been? 1 per fruit. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or 8 points actually. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. But anyway, we're raining. More rain. I wish there was more rain right now. It was raining a bit last night, but not enough. It's very scattered showers still. So 3 watering and 4. We completed that corn. Yay. Fill that in a little better. That one's been done for a while. And a final corn there. Oh, I never took this hyacinth. Whoops. I should have had 2 more goods. Oh. That would have affected that at the end. Okay, I'm going to backtrack. Screw this, honey. No, let's say we did. It wouldn't affect the watering of completing anything else. But it would have let me take 4 more goods and get a star action. So we're just retconning that a little bit. I think that's the only real I think that's maybe the second retcon of the game. It's not too bad for a solo game. 1 more star action. Should I just take the tulip? I'm tempted to just take the tulip. Of course, we could have taken the last crocus and gotten 6 points. But I think the fruit, that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As opposed to just 6 more. So yeah, the tulip. Cool. Yay! Wow, that was pretty good. So let's score this mother up. So it's a little point salad, not the worst. So we just gotta add up everything in our garden. So we have, and the pumpkins aren't points, it's just the corn and the beans. So I have 3, 6, 9 for zone 1, nothing in 2, 9, 12, 13, 16, 19, 22, plus 22, 25, 26, 26, 29, 30, 33, and the rest of that was crossed out. 33. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. Cool. I had to do a 0 on that last time, so I'm already doing better. The apiary, I did not get the honey, but I did get these some wax here, so that's 4. Yeah, last game I only got 5 for my apiary. I only got some honey, so I did okay there. Then your fruit. So I have 3 here for the apples. Nothing on the peaches, and then 1 on the raspberry. So that's only 4. Not the best. I could have focused more on the fruit. Maybe next game I'll focus more on fruit. That peaches track was really doing it for me, though. Okay, yeah, it's all about those peaches. Then the shed. So I got 3 from my pie safe, 1 for my shovel, so that's 4. 5 for my casserole dish, 7 for the hive tool, and then 1 per harvested pumpkin in longest chain. 7 plus, okay, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Suck it, Edith. 8. So it's 15. Cool. I think that's the most I've gotten for the shed. I usually get like the single digits on the shed. So 34, 42, 46, 50. Still only 65. So as I said before, and I'll go to the full screen here. Hi guys. Hi. This light is way better. well, like these things are like right in my face, so getting them closer is probably better. Hopefully I don't look too horrifying. My eczema is still bad. This is second day hair, still like looking a little raggedy. Yeah, 65. I still can't seem to beat the 65 to 67 to 69. That tends to be my average score in this game. And so they have like, obviously they have a chart. This is about not just beating your high score. Like you are working against Edith, trying to get stuff done. She's really getting in your way. It makes it feel very variable. And it's very like, ooh, she's taking the things away. And some people don't like that aspect of this Soul game, but it has a nice little range of things. So anything 39 or below is you'll have better luck next time. They're very positive vibes in this rulebook. 40 to 49 is you're ready for the county fair. And 50 to 64 is your skills have earned you a blue ribbon. Oh. And 65 to 79, which is usually the range I average in, is you have been crowned a state champ. But I want to break 79, get into the 80 and 90 range, because that's you have become an internet famous blogger. Hello. Blogger, internet, content about gardening. And then 100 plus is you have been given your own TV show. So 100 would be like a perfect game. That would be an amazing score. So totally possible to do if you're really smart about it. I think it'd be more likely a multiplayer game, but yeah, I really love Three Sisters. Sometimes these combos obviously are hard to keep track of. So some people really don't like that. It feels a little heady, and like in something like Hadrian's Wall, you have those physical meeples you're using as kind of like a currency, like an action currency. So it's more tactile, and it's the combos are much more linear. Here, there's a lot of loops. You can like, it's almost like forking trails kind of that can happen. You go down one trail of a combo string, and then you're like, oh wait, but this other thing triggered this other combo string, which triggered its own combo string sometimes. But if you're doing that, that means you're making good decisions. So the more combo strings you trigger, and the more forking paths you trigger, actually the better you're going to do, because that's more actions. And there's only 8 rounds, which as you can see is not really a lot of time when you only have like, you get one planting action always per round, and then the other action, which can be those things, either triggers or not. Really good game. Really good game. I really love Three Sisters. Oh, I should show you the box. There's the box. So yeah, this was a fun one. You saw me at peak solo gamer with a Y Andy status right here, because I'm like really like nose to the grindstone on this one. But next week I had it in my mind what I was doing for sure. Next week, I know on Tuesday, me and Rich are streaming Autumn Harvest, the Tea Dragon Society, which I think is... Where'd it go? Well, it's around here somewhere. Oh, it's right there. So we actually have the OG Tea Dragon Society and Autumn Harvest. So we actually played Autumn Harvest first. We demoed this at Great Escape Games. I think it was like the first game we ever pulled off the library shelf at Great Escape, actually. And it's a fun little deck building game. It's very light, but very, it's still an interesting little take on deck building, because, you know, whenever you buy cards, they go straight into your little engine area, so you're not as reliant on card pools in this. So then we also got the OG Tea Dragon Society, because you can combine these two kind of per the rules. You can like take other character decks, you know, the other little Tea Dragon characters, and combine them together, which is what we've done. There are cards in Autumn Harvest that kind of let you integrate the different starter decks. Also, you can integrate them pretty well. There's a lot of the memory card, the sort of tableau-y, more thematic kind of cards. This game I like better. However, Autumn Harvest has more tokens, which helps you track things a little bit more, where it's just cards in this one. So we're going to combine them together. We're just going to shuffle them all together. So it's going to be souped up tea dragons on Tuesday. It'll be very cozy. We just played it again last night for the first time in, wow, I think it's been like a year or more. I'm not sure. But that's one of our favorite deck builder games. We actually have a whole video where we talked about Autumn Harvest. It was really early in the channel before I'd even figured out how to put pictures up, so it's not, the best video in the world, but still solid. If you're interested in comparing how we felt about that versus, probably we'll have a conversation about it at the end of the stream on Tuesday, about kind of, coming back to any game after a break is like that. Then on December 5th, we're doing Lacrimosa. So for next Sunday, which will be Thanksgiving weekend, so, hopefully a lot of people will still be on vacation. They might be traveling. I was considering soloing Stardew Valley, maybe. Oh no, it's going to be some cozy autumn game for the solo. Actually, I had an idea, because I just did a roll and write this time. Solo roll and writes are always a fun time. So Tia from Tabletop Toki, formerly Takajo, she covered a game. She just did a really good video about her top solo games of the year so far. And there's one she covered called Bolé, which is by a Spanish woman designer, Olga, I want to say Martinez or something. And that one looked really cute. It looked almost kind of like Orchard-esque, so that'd be right up my alley, because it's a cards playing game. We're collecting mushrooms. How cute. So we might do that one. I'll put up a poll. That one's very autumn themed. I don't know what else is really super autumn themed that I would solo. I had in my mind what I might possibly do, but I can't remember at the moment. So just pay attention to the community tab. I'll post a poll in there for that. Because then on December, it's either December 10th or 11th, I'll be doing Ada Lovelace, a Legacy of the Machine, I think it's called. So it's a legacy version of Ada Lovelace, Consulting Mathematician. So probably the Sunday before that, I'll do another stream. I've done a playthrough of Ada Lovelace, Consulting Mathematician on the channel already, actually. So I'll probably just link to that. Because the video and audio quality is not the best, but I think it was a really solid teach and overview of the game, actually. Yeah, let me know. When I post in the community tab, go into the comments, and you can always, when I post those polls, I'll mention this maybe in the next one, but you can always comment a suggestion for a game. I'm always open to those suggestions, assuming I have it. Verdant might be a good one to do, or Calico is pretty cozy. I haven't done it in forever, so it'd be nice to get back into that solo campaign. I'm working my way still for the Dwarf Romantique campaign. I'm not gonna reset it again until I'm done with the campaign, because it's not the worst in the world to reset. Like, resetting Flamecraft took me a time and a half, and I really should have done that before the last stream, but yeah. And Mariposas doesn't have a solo mode, unfortunately. I have been, which would be very nice autumn theme. I think that's probably one me and Rich will do together. I am kind of working on my own fan-made solo mode for Mariposas, though, that I think might work. So, I'll post in the community tab, so you just get in there. And don't forget to like this video, even if you're watching this after the fact. Be sure to like it. This one went pretty well, I thought. And then winter, yeah, so I'm going to be doing that whole campaign for the Ada Lovelace, and that will be start on Sunday, but then I'll be streaming every day. After that, it'll be kind of like my holiday Hanukkah stream, kind of. And then me and Rich will probably be streaming, try to stream a Christmas themed game. I'm thinking probably Gingerbread House by Phil Walker Harding, which is his favorite designer. And that's probably my favorite game by Phil Walker Harding, to be honest. And it's fairy tale, which isn't like totally the most holiday theme, but gingerbread houses are very like Christmassy. Like my sister and my niece every year always make a gingerbread house together. That's like their, you know, mother-daughter Gilmore Girls bonding moment every year. Yeah, so a lot of stuff planned for the channel. Lots of streaming. More videos coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed our tabletop and toast that we just posted with Johnny Boy. And there's a challenge video that we need to reshoot that will probably be coming out in a couple days as well. So until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys on Tuesday and then